Hello, I'm Joshua Lowry, and welcome to another video. I decided we could take a little break of Let's Play Batman Arkham Asylum, and seeing that it is May the 4th, I figured it would be a good time to tell you guys how I got introduced to Star Wars. Granted, my memory isn't that good, so I might mess it up, but I'll definitely get the first one right, but the rest I might get wrong, so for the rest of it, don't take my word for it, but for the first part, definitely get my word for it. And possibly the last one, so yeah, I'll do my best to try actually remember this. So without further ado, let's take a look-see at it, alright? My first introduction to Star Wars was in Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. It was a Christmas present for my brother Duncan, and I didn't really give a crap at what it was until I came up to his room and I saw him play it, and it looked kind of interesting actually. Darth Vader kind of interested me as well, so it kind of interested me then, so yeah, it looked okay, I guess. And then, later then, we got, Star Wars movies, episode 1 and 2. So, I watched the first movie, and, Duncan watched the second movie, so, so, the first movie had good moments in it, and also kind of during the rest of it when I was young and I just thought it was boring. Especially kind of the final fight as well. I found that pretty boring, but that was when I was young. So, and also how bored I was. I went over to Duncan's room to see how his movie was, and it was a bit more entertaining than my one. Big shock, I know. So yeah, it was the final battle I think Duncan was on. So then I went back and then I missed the part where Darth Maul gets killed. So that's how bored I was. I didn't even stick around to see how Darth Maul snuffs it. So that movie was okay, I guess. There was some people I liked in it, like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Qui-Gon, kinda Padme. And the characters I really didn't mind. Jar Jar Binks, kind of, I don't really mind them, and quite frankly I don't really care about them. So yeah, so then we swapped movies, so I watched the second one, and it was pretty good. I think I'd watch that one over the first one any day, at least when I was younger, so that one was a bit more entertaining. I'm not sure how Duncan's experience with episode 1 was. I really have to ask him, don't I? So, anyway, after that, I think the next one we got, Star Wars related, was Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, I think. Then I figured, I love Star Wars. That game is good. I liked playing with the soldiers and all that classes, but and also I like the fact that I actually get to fight aside my favorite characters like Luke, Vader, Mace Windu, and Dooku. Those are the four Jedi you can play as. No, not play as, work beside. I wish we could play as. I really wish I could play as Darth Vader. Anyway, so yeah, that game was pretty good, and then the next one we got was, I think, Lego Star Wars, the prequel trilogy. Now, I played that game, we beat that one as well, so, yeah. Episode 1 and 2 I was familiar with, but for episode 3, I hadn't actually seen it, to be honest. At least not when I was young. I didn't see it until much later, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anywho, next one we got... give me a minute. Yeah, I think we got... I'm gonna say we got Knights of the Old Republic 2, I think. Yeah, I think we got that game. I'm not really sure, but we got that game. I liked it pretty much. I like it. And this is before we got the first one as well. So KOTOR 2 was the first one we got. The Knights of the Old Republic series, anyway. So yeah, it was a fun game. Duncan beat the game twice. On his save file and my save file, because as you can imagine, I wasn't really bothered by beating it as myself. okay, I wasn't very bothered with playing the game. I played the game here and there, but not all the way through. Duncan, his save file to mine. Light, dark. So, that's kind of impressive. I guess, not really. Because he's a brother, so who cares about brothers? Anywho, we then move on to the original trilogy. We move on to that, I think. And then I can actually see why people prefer those type of movies from the other prequel movies, because, you know, it kind of, especially Return of the Jedi, I can see why people like that one, but I'm not too sure. Did I get that together, or did I get that separate? I got them separate, and I got the special edition, but I think I got them together. And those are good movies, definitely. Highly recommend them all. If you don't know what Star Wars is, go check it out. That's how it all started. Star Wars in Europe. Episode 3, you'll finally know why. And then later we then got I'm trying to think. I think we got Republic Commandos. I think we got that anyway. So we got that. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but Duncan was. He beat it. I played the beginning levels here and there, but I really couldn't bring myself to actually complete the game. But Duncan beat the game. I was there with him. I watched it, and I was like, okay, maybe this game isn't all that bad. But I have yet to still play it completely. I wasn't really a fan of first-person shooters, but now I kind of like them now. So I really have to get back to that one soon. So yeah, later that we got Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. That game was also good. Though story mode wise, we didn't actually get that far in it because we were young. So really, what are you gonna do? Kids lose interest if they can't pass a few things. I didn't get far. I think I can get a bit further, but I really can't be sure. Maybe because when we first started it out, the story wasn't that engaging from the start, but because we didn't actually progress, so I guess that's why. So, that's a good game. I like the multiplayer, definitely like the multiplayer, immensely, because finally, lightsabers. Wait, did I get that before? Did I not? I don't know. Lightsabers. Love lightsabers. And also, going back to KOTOR 2 for a minute, I wasn't really sure if they actually used swords or not, but then when I saw Jedi Knight 2, sorry, KOTOR 2, yes, they do use swords. Thank God for that, because then it would be totally different. So now, moving on. The next game after that we had got Order 66, the book. I haven't read the book myself. My brother has. I don't know what he thought of it, but it did explain a few things for Order 66. Oh, did we get that after the third movie? I don't know. I just bring that up because we have that. I'm gonna say we got Star Wars Obi-Wan. I'm not sure most people have heard of this game because, well, the game basically takes place kind of before Phantom Menace, but also leading into Phantom Menace, so... And also, the gameplay wasn't all that good, but I didn't actually get it. I think it was given to me by my mama or something. So I played it. I kind of passed the first level, I think, but then again I lost interest because gameplay wasn't all that good for some reason. But I would say if you're a hardcore Star Wars collector, I would say if you can find it for a cheap price, I would say get it. And also for those of you that didn't know it existed, well, there you go. It existed. Judge it for yourself. Find it. Rent it. I don't care. Just play it somehow and then make your own opinion on it. So after that, we got Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't know anyone who doesn't like this game. It is that good. One thing, Star Wars Battlefront 1 is a great game. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is basically Battlefront 1 enhanced with new features. For instance, space battles, playing as your favorite Jedi heroes. Oh my god, it's so good. I mean, if you haven't got it, find it quickly. I mean, it is so good. It's on Steam right now. Go to it immediately, quickly, when there's still time. Oh yeah, I like that game very much. Yes. Anywho, moving on. Oh, and it's only on Steam for May the 4th, so do it now. If you're watching this way after May the 4th, then so you can stop. You still get it for Steam if you can. The price might be a bit higher, but yeah. Or get it for PS2 because that's what I got it for. Anyway, moving on, we then got Knights of the Old Republic 1. I really can't decide if I like the second one or the first one better, because I kind of like both of them, even though I haven't really played them all the way through. Duncan did the same thing he did in Call of 2, you know, the light side, dark side, and all that. I did attempt recently, I recently tried playing it all the way through. I got there, but right now I'm kind of stuck, because I'm an ultimate Sith Lord. I'm a complete dick to everyone, so yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble with that, especially in HK47. But I'll get to it, don't worry, and I'm trying very hard. Anywho, it's a fun game. I recommend it. I don't know anyone who doesn't like it, so go get it, especially for PC. Okay, later on, we then got I think we got Phantom Menace the video game. Basically, we weren't engaged by it that much. We played the first level. I didn't get that far because, you know, like the rest, I couldn't be bothered. But with the other games, I can be bothered. Anyway, Duncan did get further to the Naboo level, but stopped. Don't know why. Don't know. The graphics weren't all that engaging, and the gameplay was sort of okay. And it was interesting, definitely, because I hear that you can make your own choices, kind of. You can choose what you want to say. It doesn't really affect. I don't know if it really affects anything. It's not like cult or anything. It's kind of like a new feature. So after that, we then got. Star Wars. I think after that we got Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, I think we got that later. You gotta admit, the prequels might not be very loved, but there are some people that do like them. You have to admit, Episode 3 does look amazing. Amazing. That's the only time CG should be used at its finest. When I first saw it, I love it. I mean, right now, I love it. I don't care what anyone else. I like Episode 3. So, I do think it's the best out of the prequels by far, and I think plenty of other people think that as well. Because, well, it's like, 2 strikes and a home run. You think of it like that. I got that from James Wolfe. Anyway, later then on, we got the video game of Episode 3. I don't know, is there actually a video game on Episode 2? Oh, anyway, well, before I get to that, we got Star Wars Starfighter. That was an okay game to me, because it's been ages now since I've played it. Duncan beat it all the way. I did try to build my way up, but in the end, I just decided to go on History Farm, see what the final battle was, and it's basically like it replaces Anakin with Reese Dallows, I think, who destroys the Trade Federation spaceship. So yeah, it takes place kind of during Phantom Menace, and then kind of gets rid of Anakin altogether. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting game. And then later on, we got Jedi Starfighter. I messed up. Jedi Starfighter I got like after another game. I didn't get Starfighter, then Jedi Starfighter. Jedi Starfighter came like ages after Starfighter. So, Jedi Starfighter. I think I might like that game a little bit better since, well, I guess it had more stuff on it, I guess. It had bonus missions, like bonus modes with the Jango Fett one. 2-player mode thing. Choosing what ship you wanted to use during campaign mode after you beat it. I guess the story, it takes place during episode 2. Yeah. I guess because I like the characters a bit more. I do miss Reese Dallows, because I did like him kind of a bit, though I can't actually remember what he was actually like. Maybe I don't miss him that much anyway. So yeah, it's a good game. I recommend it to you if you love space shooters. It's a pretty interesting game. So yeah, get it if you really want another Star Wars game. Yep. Then we got the video game of episode 3. I like that game immensely. It's a great one. This game came out before the movie itself, so we got the game right after we got the movie. The gameplay is pretty good as well. I like that it kind of goes between I wouldn't say side-scroller, because it's kind of, I don't know, what kind of type would you guys say episode 3 is kind of based on? I mean, I know it's a 3D one, but what kind of setting do you think it is? The battle mode with the Jedi is awesome, just absolutely awesome. I mean, you never see lightsaber fights like that. Also, it made me enjoy Anakin a bit more, kind of a large bit more. And also, I like the alternate ending, which I should not spoil for you, for those of you who have not played the game. So, go get the game if you want to see this alternate ending, if you play as Anakin. It's not like Lego Star Wars, the prequel one, because you play as Anakin, you beat Obi-Wan, and go play the Lego game and see what I mean. Then go play episode 3, and then tell me, and then see the difference between alternate endings. Even though I wouldn't count the Lego one as an alternate ending, I would say it's an ad clip or something. So, yeah, it's a good game. I like that it has an alternate ending and a few more bonus ones. Like, okay, I'm going to tell you this. There's a bonus kind of ish level where you play the events of A New Hope. You play as Darth Vader and you're fighting Ben Kenobi in a kind of more of an engaging fight, if I'm honest. Because let's be honest, guys, for the first lightsaber fight, you gotta admit there wasn't that much action in it. Then again, they're both old men, so really, what do you expect? So yeah, there was also other bonus ones, like you can play as Master Yoda, not in the story mode, but in a bonus one. I guess it's kind of a survival type deal, I guess. I don't know, it's been a while since I played it. There's a Magna Guard one. Yeah, so it's a good game, so yeah, go get it. It's a great one. After that, we then got Star Wars The Complete Saga. Basically, it's a big, huge re-release of the entire LEGO franchise of the Star Wars one, anyway. Only difference is the main hub is different. I think it still takes place on Tatooine, except you can go around with all these unlockable characters. Though in LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, you can, I think, get all of the original members from the first LEGO game. So yeah, that was a good feature, but in the Complete Saga you get more, and also Indiana Jones, which is really just another skin for Han Solo, because I guess they were trying to be realistic, because Harrison Ford did play Indiana Jones and Han Solo. So yeah, that was kind of good realism. You know, I guess. Later on, we then got Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie. Duncan wasn't all that thrilled to go see it, but I tempted him into it. Like, come on, dude, it's Star Wars. We gotta go see it. It looks pretty interesting. We sat down and watched it, and of course, when we first saw Ahsoka, which happens to be one of my favorite characters right now, she's left the series now. The series is kind of over. But when we saw that, we saw her come out, and then we learned, oh, she's gonna be. Spoiler: Anakin's. Pause the video, or just go watch it and then come back. Okay, she becomes Anakin's Padawan, and we were basically like, how does that work? How does that fit into episode 3? Then again, it built into the cartoon series, well, not cartoon series, it built into the series, and then she left and all that. So yeah, the movie was enjoyable. After we watched it and it was all over, Duncan was like, that was actually pretty good. And I was like, yeah, I told you. And then we had a similar, very, very happy. So it's a good movie. Go watch it. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. It's possibly another good one about the prequel trilogy. If you don't like the main one, just go on a side one and just watch the Clone Wars. Just watch the Clone Wars movie and just move on to episode 3. You know, if you just want to watch entertainment. Even though it's a 3D movie and it's kind of using CGI, it's the best thing of seeing it, because the lightsaber fights are good in this one as well. Anywho, moving on again. We then, after that, got Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 and 3. I'm not actually sure we have the first one or not, but we got those ones. I like those games, but the problem is, you know, the first level on both of them was the Death Star level from New Hope. I died all the time, but the features I like in the game is that you can choose to be from in the cockpit, or you can be outside the cockpit for camera angles. I forget what you call them right now, so sorry. Just call them camera angles, inside cockpit or outside cockpit. I like the inside one because it actually feels like you're actually there. So yeah, it's a very interesting one. I like the game. We did get further on, but unfortunately it was for GameCube and we don't have any working memory cards. So every time we turn it off, we basically lose all the progress that we made. So, bummer. Oh well. Just think of it as a Nintendo style. Then we got Star Wars... The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels, I think. That game is pretty good as well. It's basically episode 3-ish, only it's just basically duels and all that. Based around a few scenes from the movie and a few scenes from the series, which we had not seen at that time, at least not yet. We enjoyed the game, and we also liked that the final level was not actually involved in the series whatsoever, just in the game. So yeah, we liked that. It had some originality and other stuff, and also a few scenes were original. So I liked that. I think either I beat it or Duncan beat it. I can't actually remember. It's one of us that beat it. It's a fun game. I highly recommend it to you guys. Go get it if you have a Nintendo Wii. Not a Wii U, or a Nintendo Wii. Moving on. We then got Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the Wii first. No, PSP, sorry. We got it for the PSP. Duncan played it all the way through. I like the features on it, like, before I get to the story, I like the features on it where you can choose, your character, because I think you can choose your character, and there's these, modes, like, based around, episode 2 and 3. And A New Hope. I think A New Hope. Is it New Hope? Empire Strikes Back. So, yeah. For the episode 2 one, you play as Mace Windu, and you are slicing down some Geonosians and drones, or droids, whichever you prefer. You save Lua Monaro, I think, and then you keep on trying to survive in that. And yeah, it's a nice feature. Episode 3, you play as Anakin or Obi-Wan. You play as Anakin and you fight Count Dooku on the ship. You know, the famous scene in that. It's another nice feature. I like that. And for Empire Strikes Back, you play as Darth Vader and you're fighting Luke Skywalker. And kind of a new perspective on what Vader was doing, I guess. Possibly. It's another fun feature, and yeah, but it kind of felt like a Starkiller skin, because it basically is a Starkiller skin. There's also another mode where you can choose what character you want to play as, and there's this like arcade mode thing. You go up this ladder, I guess you could say, and you fight these Jedi. The Jedi I think you can fight is Starkiller's father, Mace Windu, Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. I don't think those are in order. So yeah, to get the PSP version, you'll know what I mean. In the story mode, I'm going to explain it on the Wii version. The Wii version has another mode. It's basically like another fighting mode type thing, only with enhanced graphics and all that. So yeah, I'm not actually sure how the PS2 version is because I don't have it. But I eventually got the Xbox 360 version, and I can't actually decide which versions I like, because the PSP has more features on it. The Wii version has kind of enhanced graphics with a battle mode, and the Force Unleashed for the Xbox version has more enhanced graphics and a few more costume collectible things, I think. The Xbox version has DLC, that's what it's best known as, for DLC. I guess I'll explain the story for Force Unleashed. Basically, this takes place in between episode 3 and 4. Darth Vader goes to Kashyyyk and he is wiping out the last of the Jedi like he was told, and then he meets this Jedi, he fights him, and he kills him, and takes his son in because he just found out, and he saved him, he killed the stormtroopers and all that. Years passed, and he's a grown teenager guy, and he goes off and kills this other Jedi, and then all that, and he does these tasks for him, and then, yeah, you can play the game for yourself and see how it ends up. Though I will discuss the light and dark ending. Light ending, it's just an ordinary ending. Dark side ending, it's left kind of on a cliffhanger. For the DLC, it continues on. Starkiller goes to Jabba's palace to find the droids. This takes place during episode 4. He kills Boba Fett and Ben Kenobi, only to try and follow, only to miss them, and then they'll go to the Death Star and save Princess Leia and all that stuff. Spoilers, by the way, guys, spoilers. I should have warned you about that, so... Force Unleashed, spoilers. For the second DLC, you go to Hoth, you fight Luke Skywalker, you turn him to the dark side, basically, and then his friends escape again. It's like you never catch the Millennium Falcon. Anyway, good game, like it a much. My battery's down, I gotta hurry this up. I got some comic books as well, based on the Clone Wars, and I don't actually know when I picked them up, but they're kind of good, so if you find... They're like magazine comic books, basically, so if you find them, read them if you want, you get a goody thing with it. There's also a Force Unleashed book, so I highly recommend that for you guys. If you can't be bothered playing the video games, just read the book. It's a big book, basically taking place after, and kind of, you know, going into the ending of the real ending. And then after that we got Force Unleashed 2. Also a good game. Bit short than the last one, I guess. This is the PS3 version I'm talking about. Once again, it's just like, you play as Starkiller once again, and you basically go around trying to, you know, decide something. Spoiler. Dark side ending. Again, left in a big cliffhanger. Only one DLC. Takes place on Endor. You go to Endor, kill Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Princess Leia, and then it's left on a kind of another cliffhanger thing, but really hasn't been explored lately, because Vader is struck by lightning by the Emperor because he was going to take over the Empire, and then on the ground and all that. and then the Emperor makes you command, go after the clone, and then the clone opens his eyes, and then it kind of ends like that. So, cliffhanger thing, so I guess it will never be explained. So, Force Unleashed 2, good game, but feels a bit short. So, yeah, we then got Star Wars, there was this kind of 2D-ish for PC, Galactic something. You play as the Empire and you're doing all this kind of stuff. I didn't play it myself, but I don't actually know how to explain it to you guys. Duncan's played it, I don't know how he thinks about it, so I can't really tell much on that game, so that's about it. Empire at War. That's another PC game. Lovely game. Beautiful game. Cinematic mode. Awesome! It's a strategy game, you can build your empire, choose what side you're on, but what the game is mostly good for is mods. You can get all kinds of mods, and it makes the game a whole big more experience for you all. So, get the game, get some mods, and there you go, you are set. And now, to quickly finish this up, did I get anything else? Action figures. I got some action figures of Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Clone Troopers, and Blo Koon, Count Dooku, and Asajj Ventress. And 2 other Jedi with another comic book. Yeah. Can't really explain much on that. So, Star Wars Clone Wars. It's a cartoon version. Basically, this takes place between between episode 2 and 3. It's kind of split into volumes, because if you get the DVD, it's split in volumes. But I think if you watched it on TV, it was basically a series, but with the DVD, it's kind of like a big long movie with 2 volumes. Volume 1 is basically episode 2 era, then volume 2 is episode 3 era. So, it's a prequel right before episode 3. So, get it if you want to know how Gear was going to come. Also, it explains a few things from the Clone Wars movie and why Ventress keeps on talking about Yavin in deleted scenes. Because they fought in Yavin and that's how Anakin got that scar, apparently. I don't get it either. So, anywho, is that it? I guess so, I think that's about it for Star Wars, anyway. If I've missed anything out, sorry, because those are the only things I got introduced to at this moment. If I forgot something, I'm sorry. At least from me, I don't know, I'm apologizing to you, but I'll let you know, don't worry. So, how did you get introduced to Star Wars? Did you watch the movies? What order did you watch them in? Did you watch them in chronological order, or did you watch them in the order they came out? Did you get introduced by the video games, or did someone tell you about them? Whatever it is, leave a comment down below and tell me how. And also, if you kind of enjoyed this, I'm going to try and make a new series out of this and tell you how I got introduced to a couple of these things, like franchises. So, if you've got a suggestion on how I got introduced to something, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see what I can do. So, yeah. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, and goodbye.